Yo, what is up, everybody? So, welcome to another day of Hard Drive 32, a channel dedicated to reviving the nostalgia of 32-bit generation of games through making our own game. So, this starting from day one, I've got a background in graphic design and did work as an art director at a mobile game company for 5 years. And so, I mean, even with those 5 years, I'm still pretty much a novice at it, and it's been a while. I've done graphic design for the past few years, so I've been out of the game for a while. So this channel is dedicated to kind of like help inspire you guys to work on your stuff, and let's take it from there. Where we're going to continue off from last time is we are working on a study of artist Hideki Ishikawa, who did Power Stone, Mega Man, Pokemon, lots of like Nintendo and Capcom properties. Fantastic artist. And we're kind of studying his work to learn how he does what he does. So just a few examples of his art. Give you right here. All right. So pop this one open here. He loves to do very volume-driven characters. So like characters that are a lot of shapes like cylinders, cubes, circles, just very volume based. And then what I particularly love is, so for the game I'm making, it's gonna be a platformer, kind of in the spirit of Klonoa, which is a great old school platformer from like the PlayStation days. It's on Game Boy Advance, on PS2, on all sorts of platforms. And I love the bright, cheery, optimistic kind of like vibes that it gives off. And then so that's why I'm studying this guy's art. Is his art is just so colorful and so positive and so, yeah, you can think of no better artist to work on Pokemon or Mega Man. And that's why I am working on a study of his, which is to say I am copying one of his works here. So to start, whenever you're wanting to learn someone's art style, I always recommend to focus on mimicry. Tracing is perfectly fine as long as you're doing it consciously to study what the artwork is doing. If you're just tracing without thought, then you're not going to be getting a lot out of that process. However, if you are tracing and you're really thinking about, oh, why did they do this? Oh, why did they do that? Then you're going to gain quite a bit from that process. And so just working on this has been tremendous for me to learn so much about what this guy is actually doing with his artwork. Where we last left off, we had, let's see here, we gotten, let me not lose my mouth words here. Oh, 1 second here, get this pin working again. But where we last left off, we've got most of the main shading on here. Doesn't mean there's not more to do, but there we go. But for now, I think we're a pretty good point where we can move on and continue our journey, as it were. Okay, so I don't have to get this perfect necessarily. I always like to think of my artwork as 1 of 1,000, not 1 in 1,000. So by saying it's 1 of 1,000, it's just one day of doing art. It's gonna be a day after that and a day after that. It's a lifetime, it's a journey. You're always gonna be growing. And instead of the whole idea like it's 1 in 1,000, and when people think it's 1 in 1,000, they put so much emphasis on their work that they kind of like, they hurt their own productivity because they limit themselves because they're not willing to be experimental or make mistakes or all sorts of things. And that is not what I am about. All right. So where we're going to go from here is we've got a lot of the basics down. Let's see if there's any major... Oh, I remember there was like a line I missed last time. And I was like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I didn't get that. It's right here. Just a little line. Yeah, one big difference between my art and his is just like the control that he has had across all of this. Like, just super impressive. How clean his forms are, his cylinders and all that, and his spheres. Just awesome. But mine's like significantly messier. But that's alright. We're here to learn. Alright. Shading. What shading remains? We've got most of the basic shading on here. He does kind of a single color for most of his shades. I do see some parts where that's not quite the case. So, for example, here, he... Oops. Did a lighter color here. Okay. Yeah, let's do that again. We'll keep that. So in these angles here, these boots that are not as severe as the sides, he has a reduced shadow because they're catching more sunlight. I really want to correct this. This little thing's bother me. Oh wait, I actually have the color. I was smart enough to save this swatch for later. There you go. Okay, we're gonna color in more of the shadow here. Let's get it in here. I think it actually goes like up to here. And then let's go ahead and erase it a little bit. Not as harsh of a transition. That's good enough. All right. Let's go ahead and move into the highlights. So it looks like, if I were to say what highlight color he's using, it looks to be a yellow color. In fact, what I might have earlier presumed was that, I want to make sure my music's not too loud. There we go. What I presumed earlier was that he shaded the face. But I think what actually happened was he had a base color of face here. Let's go ahead and look so dopey without his outlines. Select color range. Oops. Make sure I'm selecting the right layer when I do it. That to be fairly accurate. Alright, and let's actually fill that with a particular color. The darker part of his face here. I think he might have actually done this for the base face color. That's my guess. So scary looking. Let's do a quick draw over here. Could have just expanded that selection. Might have been a little easier, but to get these little lines that are missing. Let's actually take a moment here. I'm just going to go ahead and correct some of these other just little spots that we're missing. This pen has given up the ghost, y'all. Put it through too much. These are like decades old tablets, though. Not decades, I should say a decade old. Alright. Get in that face. Let's get those things here. Oops. Does not have to be perfect. That is for sure. We're not aiming for perfection on this one. I just want to get the general gist. What this artist was going for. Photoshop messed up again. Something's happened, you guys. My Photoshop, that's really frustrating. I think it might be this particular document too. I don't think this is an always case. I just don't know. Alright. Gotta work faster. I want to get this done before 1 o'clock. Central Time, I should say. Alright. Now I'm going to do the highlights layer. And what I assume, from what I can see, it looks as though he used some sort of yellow. Soft yellow as his highlights. And he likely blended it with some sort of soft right here, orangish, because that kind of a pale yellow, so moving towards the green. And let's set this to overlay for a moment. Just see what happens when we... Oh, well. Photoshop's messing up again. I'm going to try something. I'm going to duplicate this document. Because it... Oops. It's acting up so bad. Yeah, sometimes what I might end up doing is just creating an entirely new Photoshop document and copying and pasting it to that in hopes that it removes a lot of the issues, because that is a common thing. Eraser. I was using the eraser. What a dope. Okay. Let's see what we get color-wise. This is a pale yellow, which is what I think they were using. Not too far off. Theirs is still a little more gray. Let's use soft light instead. Nope. I don't know why I think color dodge would work. Let's do overlay. This is gonna be good enough for demonstration purposes. Here, Robo Boy. love that this hair has a hard outline versus soft. We'll go by later and we'll correct this, but just for now, just do this here. We've got some crazy storms where we're at, guys. Midwest about to get hit. Okay. See, this underlighting is the clue. The fact that it's purple is interesting to me. I really want to know how this artist did paint this originally, because of the generation he created in. It just, Photoshop wasn't necessarily a thing as much as it is now. Yoshi. It's far from perfect. That's okay though. I'm just here to learn. That is the point. I'm here to learn. And we'll do some color correction of this afterwards. Here. So it's like I scroll too much and then it locks up. Huh. Look this up real quick, guys. Oh. This is a recent issue. There's a little awesome. There's a YouTube video to fix this issue. Whoa, sorry guys. Apparently in Photoshop 2020, there's a locking up issue on Windows. Preferences. Preferences performance. Preferences performance over scroll. Alright, let's see if that fixes it. That's what they recommend. I don't think it'll actually fix it, unfortunately, because I think it's a issue unrelated to it. But you know, I would love if it does. It is performance. Not performance. Over scroll. Where are you, my sir? Over scroll. Okay. Fingers crossed, guys. That fixes it. Let's find out what happens. All right. Where were we? Working our Mega Boy. No, it's a plain color. Okay. Is there any highlights in there? Not that I'm aware of. Okay. Okay about that. This. Just do the non-destructive way. Always work non-destructively. Boy, is it fun to work destructively. But it's better not to. So I'm using a mask here, and I'm going to remove some of my shading that I had. Okay. Oops. Funny, there's like all sorts of little things that are hurting the character. Just my little line work not being as solid as comparison to the original artist ends up hurting the original work so much. It's just incredible. Soften on all this. What have you? Okay. No, 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 no. Doop, doop, doop. Let's get this up here. No, no, no. Nothing kind of like that. Blah, 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 blah. He had a little bit higher, but that's okay. Okay. And over his eyes, of course. Bring those color back. Those beautiful, beautiful green eyes. Okay. Cool. And I do think that this highlight is just too harsh overall. Oh, come on, computer. Computer, don't make those sounds. Alright. I don't think that highlights. Oh, wait. Maybe that highlight is there. It's like on this portion. So funny. For example, okay, so I think I'm gonna go ahead and consider this largely done. See if there's anything else I'd like to change here real quick. There's a lot in truth I would love to change, but all right. 75. So the skin color, that needs adjusted still. Instead of, let's group that, and we'll play that. Okay. Not happy with that skin color. I think I need to go a little lighter with it. Go no fuzziness, because it's like, should be the same in any case. So, and let's go something just a little lighter. That. Heck, maybe even just a hair. Okay, let's do that. At least a closer approximate. And I think that oh, those eyes are definitely not. So initially I had made his, I think I colored in the eyes as lines. Let me see here. Did I do that? Yeah. Okay, so that totally isn't the case for one. Those eyes, my friends, are, oops. Okay. Those eyes are a dark green. Let's choose them. In this case, oh, it's kind of like a dark bluish green. That's interesting. Pop it more in that direction because that's probably more accurate. Not do it on that layer. Let's do it on the color layer. Get those eyes colored in. Oops. I wonder if you guys can hear any of the thunder in the background. It is wild outside where we're at. I love storms, so. Okay. 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 Okay, man. I think we're gonna call this. So, see how it's kind of messy and stuff? Boom. All right. Let's switch which one is on which side too. Like a big old group here. So this is kind of, oh, that is not what we started with. This is what we started with was we did a draw over it to get the basic forms and volumes that Ishikawa used to make the Mega Man, which is what you're seeing on the left. And then afterwards, we came through and we filled in the, we did the more refined line work to see here. And then we did the colors, base colors, after which we added in the shadows, which was a purple shadow, light purple shadow, and did a soft transition on smooth surfaces, flat color on any kind of like perpendicular or surface that was very like a hard angle. Then we did the highlight shading pass. And that was it. That's where we got to where we got. And yeah. I do see one thing I do want to correct here. I think this is incorrect. Oops. This is incorrect. Probably a lot of stuff that's kind of incorrect. That's okay. Alright, so we're going to save. And we're going to make sure my Mega Boys. Oh, that was wild looking. There's no white behind his eyes. Whoa. So, A-B comparison. You can definitely tell the difference. I'd say that they're close enough that, for example, if I was on a team of designers, they'd probably give me a pass. I would hope they'd give me a pass for this, as far as mimicking another artist's art style to use on a project. There we go. There's so many little things I'd love to go through and correct, but I got more important things to do. There's too many exciting things out there to work on. So, left Mega Man, right Mega Man. Not perfect, that's for sure, but worth a shot. And so we're gonna end this Ishikawa study, and what I'm gonna do next, for probably a couple days, we'll start tomorrow though, is I think I'm gonna go ahead and try a figure, a person, in some sort of cool pose or outfit, and I will try to turn them into an Ishikawa character. See how that goes. And then after that, we'll return by doing another study with a little less tracing over and all that. Then we'll do another creative one where I take another pose from someone, do it again, and then we'll do this just a couple more times after that. It's a lot, but it's really what you need to do to get, you know, one, for me to get back in practice, and two, to learn a new style. So that will conclude that portion, and let's move on to Bolt. So while I'm loading up Unity Bolt, I do want to say welcome to Hard Drive 32 if you're just tuning in, a channel dedicated to resurrecting 32-bit Gen by making a game ourselves. So this is just a place for anyone who loves the concept of making games, or you're working on one now, or if you just want the inspiration or motivation to do so. Feel free to, you know, drop in the comments, like, comment, subscribe, check out the Instagram with the same name, Hard Drive 32, and hope to get connected with you soon. Now then, let us open up this project. Get a good stretch in. We're buying a house, by the way. So if you see me texting, it's setting up the loans for it. There is always something to do with it. Sorry, guys. I think my internet just went out because of... Oh, actually, I hope nothing's going wrong here. Looks to be okay. Alright. Let's see here. We've got our Unity tutorial all loaded up. We left off with our little guy. He can get hurt, but he can't make friends or hurt others, which is important. So we're going to begin the Unity Bolt AI portion of the tutorial. Here we go. Got it all loaded up. I'm excited to get this set up. Alright. Root state machine. First thing we'll do is create a root state machine on our enemy. It will have two states. Alive. When the enemy is alive, most of the logic happens, like patrolling, chasing, and damaging. For the first time, this state will be a super state, meaning it will contain itself. It will itself contain a state graph. Previously, we've only used flow states, where the child graph was a flow graph. Okay? Good. When the enemy is killed, it should slowly spin downwards and disappear. This will be a simple flow state that we'll implement in the next section when we add projectiles to kill enemies. To create the root state machine, alright, we're going to open the level 3 scene, select the enemy object, add a new state machine component, and create a new macro port called enemy, and apply the changes to the prefab. Okay? There's a little guy looking mad. Enemy. Add component. State machine. And new one called enemy. Alright. Edit graph. Let's see. And then, yeah, of course, apply changes. Duh. In the root state machine, delete the default start state because it's a flow state and we need a super state. Okay? Create a new super state, open it, and change its title to alive. Go back into the enemy state. Right click the alive state and choose toggle start. Okay. Create a new flow state, open it, and change its title to dead. Go back into the enemy state. Okay. Add a new transition, add a transition from alive to dead. Alright. Bye. New state, which is super state. Name it alive. Enemy is alive and behaving. Well put. Right click and toggle to start. I wonder what that does actually. Curious what toggle start is. Oh, toggle to start. Probably means when the scene starts and the level loads up, they should start in the alive state. That's what it's referring to. Okay, create another super state. Did. Enemy has died. and no longer behaving. That honestly might be more than it's necessary, but that's okay. Right-click transition. All right, we got our lemon transition. Oh, let's see. No, they just want a flow state for that one. Okay. Gotcha. Dead. Enemy. We'll say enemy has died. That's pretty easy. Transition. Voila. Inside the alive state graph, we will need 3 child states. You can delete the default start one. Okay. Control, chase. Okay, alright. Alright. Gotcha. Patrol, super, and chase and damage or flow. Patrol. Chase. And then, was it damage? And that one can happen between either or. I'm gonna put it between these two. That's how I'm gonna organize it. We'll see if you organize it differently. Parallel here means that there will be 2 systems of states in a live state graph. They'll run at the same time, one for movement, patrol, or chase, and one for damage, just one state. To do that, we only have to define multiple start states. Powerful feature, unique 1 or 2 start states will be patrol and damage. Okay. Okay. Interesting. That's interesting. Okay. Easy peasy. So now we're moving on to the next thing, which is going to be setting up damage. I'm just saying, hey, when it collides with the player, take away 1 of their health. And as we've already set up, when you take away enough health from the player, it starts at the death state and they die. Nice. Okay. Oh no, stop. Okay, macros. that the right one? Integer. Literal. Or yeah. Int literal. Go. Ooh. Oh, I do need to add an argument though. Okay. Player, I'm guessing. I know it'd be damage. Really? It should work already? Huh. Very curious to see that's the case. Okay. Nope. Let's see here. Doing something wrong with probably the collision portion of it. Damage. Oh, object. Okay. That makes sense. Oops. Now when the two colliders hit each other, it'll take 1 damage. Oh, no, it won't. Let's do that. File. What's it saying? File. Sorry, please use. Preferences. Edit preferences. With or out thou. Script changes while playing. Recompile. You see any script changes? Oh wait, recompile. After finish playing. Okay. I'm kind of glad they told me that. Okay, so why am I not able to run in this little puppy? Could be something with the layers. We did play with the settings last time with layers. That's one potential. He's on the enemy layer. Great. But then if we go to, was it project settings? We set up that invincibility stuff last time. It was under physics 2D. Okay, didn't save it. I didn't save it. I'll have to go back a tutorial. That's weird, I didn't save some of my progress last time. Okay. Let's find it. It's right. Okay, yeah, enemies. Okay, we don't have projectiles yet, so that's okay. But enemies, it should definitely be set up to have it unchecked. That's something. But we're still not gonna, it's still not working yet. Go earlier in this damage. So maybe I messed something up earlier. Alive, dead. The fact that the collision didn't work, I'm gonna check the collision settings on the sucky thing is, these are settings that, I mean, a normal player wouldn't necessarily understand if they're just following this tutorial, but the fact that I push the enemy instead of colliding with it is interesting. But I just now clicked off that switch which says physics 2D, so maybe I can clip through him now. No, I still can. So let's click on him. Sprite renderer, rigid body 2D. Box glider 2D. Oh wait, I'm still playing the game. I shouldn't have been doing that. I should never change settings on the game when you're in play mode because those settings won't stay. Let's see here. Box glider. I can't even see it. Oh, okay. It's hard to see. It's there. Let's go 1.6. Even that doesn't work. Huh. Just pushing him around. Oh. Well, I think I'm gonna keep investigating this tomorrow. And for now, I'm gonna make this conclusion for Hard Drive 32 today. When we come back tomorrow, we'll actually start a new drawing, which will be just completely original. That's based on Ishikawa's art style, and see how well I can replicate it on my own and figure out what's going on with Bolt. But it's great to have you here. Feel free to like, comment, subscribe on Hard Drive 32, because if you're an indie dev and I'm an indie dev, I want to connect with you, or if you're just aspiring to work on games in any capacity, love to say hi. That is it.